Guys, what is up? What is up? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. We have made the trip out to San Diego, California. We're right outside 7 Mile Casino. I hope you can see this view right behind us here. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's my first day here, and of course, we're checking this place out. Heard a lot of great things about it. I was told that this is definitely a spot you need to check out, so I'll be here checking out the action. And I think I'm gonna go to Hamul tomorrow or the next video, whenever it is. So I'm definitely gonna do that there, but today let's focus on that. Looks like a really cool spot. So I'm just walking around the parking lot. I have no idea where I'm going, but I think we see the entrance. Heard games are really good. We're gonna hop into the 2-5. I think we're also on the 5-5 or 5-10 list, whichever it is. So that should be fun as well. We saw a few videos from Johnny Vibes. He was here. So I'm excited to try a new spot. And if I'm here in Cali for a few weeks, definitely have to check out San Diego. And I think this town, pretty cool. It's really cool. Anyways, let's hop into the action. I'm done talking. Maybe we can get some B-roll, some cool shots of this place, but it's right over there. Let's hop right into it. Wish us some luck. Hopping into the 5-5 action at 7 Mile, max bind of 1,000. First hand in, the fourth hand we get dealt, picking up ace-10 of diamonds in the big blind, playing 7-handed. We get +1 to open up the action to $20, and when it folds to me, I decided to just flat here. I don't know how the players play yet, and he's opening from +1. Should be a little narrow. Let's see a flop. The flop comes ace, ace, 8, rainbow. Perfect spot for us. I check, and unfortunately, he checks it back, so let's try to get some value on the turn. Turn comes the 10 of clubs, brings in a backdoor flush draw, and let's build a pot now with a boat. I throw out a bet of $25, and he makes the call for 25. River comes in 8. This is absolutely perfect. Let's just hope he has an 8. Let's maybe hope he slow played an ace of some sort. I throw out a bet sizing up to $110 now. Action onto him. He thinks for a little bit and puts in some dream news, throws in more chips for $340 total. With the second nuts only behind quad 8s, he covers us by a little bit. We bought in for $100 effective, and we've got $950 total in our stack. We rip all of that in there. He makes the call pretty quickly, show our hand, and just like that, that's what you call a scoop. First hand in, plus 1,000, doubling up, and a pretty dream run out for us. Lucky to take this one down. This is where we wrap up the session. We're in for 1,000, out for 2,000 in 4 minutes played. Really great time at 7 Mile. Just kidding. This next hand, pocket 10s in the small blind. We're playing 7-handed still. The low jack opens up the action to 15. Then next to act in the hijack, 3 bets to 45. It folds to me, and I'm in the small blind with 10s. I really don't love cold calling this out of position, especially in a 3-bet pot. Feels like if I call, then I'm going to play this hand very, very straight up and face up. Anyways, with that said, I decided to go for a very light 4-bet. See what these players' 3-betting ranges are like. I 4-bet to $155. Action folds back to the hijack, who's playing about $800 effective. Thinks the situation over, then reaches into his rack and bets out $355. Puts in that 5 bets, pretty small, only $200 more, but considering how short he is, not really the best situation to be in whatsoever. He's got less than a pot size bet behind if we were to make the call on the flop here, and pretty much we're just going to be set mining. So with that said, we gotta fold here in this spot. Can't really play this hand in a 5-bet pot. Maybe we could have just called the $45 to set mine, but instead we lit $155 on fire. Hey guys, so just a quick reminder, today is one of the very last days you can pick up some Rampage Poker screen printed merch, hoodies, sweatshirts, oh those are both the same, hoodies, t-shirts, and some hats as well. So
If you want to check out the merchandise and want to help support the channel and rep it, I'd greatly appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you guys repping it. Happy to take a picture with you guys. Love all the support. Just wanted to make a quick reminder. So if you want to check out the merch, you can just click the link down below in the description. Happy to check it out. You don't have to get anything, but scroll around. If you like anything, it's much appreciated. Anyways, on to the video.
Next hand after that, pocket sixes in +1. I opened up the action to $15. We had some action here on this table as the hijack and cutoff make the call. Then the button decides to put in the 3 bets. Sizes up to $75, and this is an action player at the table. He's been running very hot and built up a very big stack, hitting gutter balls, back-to-back hands. So, with that said, he's got a large stack. Let's play for it. Let's set mine. I think we definitely have the implied odds to make the call here if we do hit our set. So with that said, I call, and people don't like folding out here in California. The other 2 players call as well, so 4 ways to a 3-bet pot. The flop comes Queen 10-8 Rainbow. Nope, not for us as we flop an underpair. Action checks around, giving us the free turn card. Let's see it. The turn comes the Ace of Clubs. Nah, not us again, unfortunately. This time, action checks around, and the button throws out a delayed C-bet of $100. I'm folding, always getting out of the way. Only the player to my left makes the call for 100. Heads up to the river, which is a 7. Action goes check, check, and the button shows down Ace-Jack to take it down. Next interesting spot, pocket sixes once again. Second time's the charm, right? This time we're in the cutoff, and the under the gun opens it up to $25. Player in +1 makes the call. On to me, obviously not folding, going to be set mining. I call, and the small blind and big blind call. 5 ways to a pot. Flop comes Jack 6-3 Rainbow. Perfect. Second time is the charm. Middle set on a pretty dry board. Action checks to me, and we're definitely going to be sizing up a little bit larger here since we're multi-way. Not that we're afraid of anything, but we've got to assume one of the other 4 players must have connected. So I throw out a bet of $90, and only the big blind player makes the call. He's been very sticky with his hands. He's very prone to be calling, so let's get value on this. The turn comes a 4, brings in the full rainbow, and once again he checks to us. Here I'm deciding to size down just a tad bit here. Want to get more value as I think I have him drawing dead very often. So I size to $160, and with this smaller sizing, he is snippety snap calls. Off to a river comes the queen. He's got about $400 behind, and he checks to us. I think this is a spot where I could probably just size down a little bit. Don't have to jam and go for max value, but in this instance, knowing that he can call very light, he can just be calling very often, I decided to go for it and see what happens. I rip it all in there. Hope he has a hand like 2 pair of some sort, especially when he just snap calls 160 on the turn. Hopefully he doesn't have a decent hand. So I put in the all-in button. He thinks it over and unfortunately makes the laydown. So no more value for us on the river, but at least we win a decent-sized pot here. Next hand, we get moved from the must to the main 5-5, and in this spot with Ace-3 of spades in the cutoff, I open up the action to $20. Player on the button 3 bets to 70, and it folds to me. This player seems like a very solid reg here, been playing a lot, and just haven't really gotten out of line too much so far, but in this instance, I'm in the cutoff, and he's got position, thinking that his 3-betting range doesn't have to be nutted, so we try for it. This is a really good candidate for a light 4-bet. So we put it in there for $200, and when we put in that 4-bet, he doesn't think too long before making the call, so definitely seems like a hand he wants to play, so we'll see a flop. The flop is Ace, 8, 6, 2 spades. Pretty much a dream flop for us. Not only with top pair, but also the redraw to the nut flush. Actions onto me first to act. I put in a C-bet of $125. It's going to be pretty tough for us to bet too big and get calls from worse. Hands like kings, queens, jacks, they all hate the ace out there. So with my $125 bet, he makes the call. Hoping to improve, the turn comes the 10 of diamonds. I think this is a pretty weird decision point here at this point now. With a marginal hand, but a really great draw, I decided to check. It really seems unlikely that a hand like jacks through kings would call a second barrel anyways. So we'll see what happens. Also giving him the opportunity to be bluffing. He does throw out a bet, pretty sizable one at that, of 315. Definitely never folding here, but I'm afraid I'm up against hands like ace-10 suited for a top 2 pair now, or some hand like ace-jack plus, or even a set as well when he sizes the 315. So I make the call here, obviously just never folding. We're playing pretty deep. He's got almost 1,000 in front, and I cover him, so we're going to see a river and hope to see a black spade. The river comes, the 9 of hearts. Not what we're looking for. The board's super connected. There is a 4-liner out there to a 7, but not too many 7s in his range, I don't think. With one pair, top pair, I check. He tanks for quite some time at this point, and after thinking things over for about a minute or so, he puts in the jam. He rips it all in there for a total of $965. This is pretty rough, man. This is really, really rough. I think we can eliminate all the 1-pair aces in his range now when he polarizes himself and makes a massive jam on the river. Maybe ace-king, but with that said, like, I'm just really lost. At this point, I obviously just have a bluff catcher. Very connected, very wet board. I see him also 3-betting a lot of suited connectors as well. Would he also be continuing and calling with suited connectors? Would he also be calling suited connectors against the 4-bets? He's in position, so he doesn't have to fold too often. But this is just a really large river shove, and it's rarely a bluff. Just holding a bluff catcher myself, it's going to be a very ambitious call if we were to find one. He has all the 2 pairs in his range, all the sets, and at the end of the day, I don't think we can make this very ambitious call. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to fold this and let this one go. We lose a really big one. He never showed, unfortunately, but we would have loved to know what he had. After that really big hand, we pick up king-queen off in +1. Unleon opens it up to $25. It's his standard sizing, player to my right, so here I just make the call for 25, and we're going heads up to a flop. The flop comes ace, 3, 5, 2 spades. He checks now, which is really weird, but sitting with king high, it certainly opens the door for us to be bluffing. I don't necessarily think his under the gun opening range is going to be super, super narrow, but we'll see. I throw out a bet of $30, and he makes the call for 30. The hands I definitely can put a lot of pressure on are pocket 8s through 10s or jacks. So we're off to a turn. Turn comes the 6 of clubs, board a lot more connected. Once again, he checks. I'm just going to be continuing my story that I have a pretty strong hand. The board's a lot more connected now, so obviously the 3, 5, and 6 can hit our range more than his. I throw out another bet of $60 here, and this is not going to work out because he check raises to 185. I'm a little annoyed at this point, but I'm going to have to be folding pretty quickly here. Just a little annoyed. Things aren't going as perfectly as they once were. Following hand, we get into a pretty dicey spot, so let's go over it. Pocket aces on the button. There's one limper, and the player on right in the cutoff raises it up to $25. Like I said, it's just a standard sizing no matter what. I'm here definitely putting in the 3-bet with an above average hand. We size to $85 here, and action folds to the cutoff who raised to 25, and he, of course, puts in the 4-bet to $225. Okay, dream scenario. Sitting with aces, facing a 4-bet. I'm thinking between whether I want to 5-bet or flat call. And while I'm thinking, he announces something to me. He tells me that he'll show me one card. And I ask if he'll show me right now, if that's what he means. And he says, yes. What the hell is this? What the hell is going on? I've never encountered this before. He absolutely just puts out his cards right next to me in front of my hand and tells me I can reach for his cards and flip over any of them. But there's no need for us to do that. We actually have a good hand. So I think this is very strange. And I don't want to do that and risk the possibility of making his hand dead. So I don't really know the rules here. Don't want to make his hand dead and forfeit this one. So I just make the call here, hoping he has pocket kings, because that would be pretty likely. Not likely at all he has ace king since we double block that. So let's make the call and hope to fade a king. The flop comes 7, 3, 4 rainbow. This is dry as hell on the 3-bet pots. So on this flop, he is first to act and throws out a bet of $250. He has his cards right in front of me, letting me pick whatever I want. So I'm not going to take that bait, obviously, with aces here, but I'm pretty confident that obviously he has a premium like queens or kings. He only has about $500 behind in his stack after this $250 bet. So do I slow play this? Do I go for it now? I assume most people don't have light 4-betting ranges, so with that said, I just rip it all in. I don't really want to slow play this, and I'm assuming he can just call a wide percentage of the time. So, rip it all in. He thinks it over and folds. What? How the hell did I mess up this hand? It really feels like I should have made a lot more. Maybe he had ace-king? Ace-queen? I have no idea. Maybe I just call the 250 and he hangs himself and tries to bluff at it on any turn, but really unfortunate that we didn't get all of the money in there, but we still pick up a decent-sized pot. Also, in the comments below, let me know what you guys would have done in this situation. Have you ever encountered this? Like, what are your thoughts? Would love to really know and learn more about this situation. So, yeah, definitely going to be reading and responding to all your comments here. This last hand we're going to go over now. This main game has been pretty tough. I've been really card dead. So here, when I look down at Jack 8 of diamonds on the button, it looks like a premium, man. So, Untitled player who's been very passive, he limps. And the +1 player who also has been very passive raises to $30. With this raise against him, he's definitely signifying a very strong and narrow range. But we're on the button, we're card dead. We make the call because I'm very bored and there's also been 0 action so far on this table. So I make the call and just going heads up to the flop. Flop comes 8, 3, 6 rainbow. Top pair is fine, but I'm really not expecting my 8 to be good here since his range is just so tight. He continues for a bet of $40, and here I decided to make the call because I want to suck out on him. Got some 2-pair draws, got some backdoor diamond draws. Let's see a turn. The turn comes the queen of diamonds. That's pretty good enough for us, and we're going to be committed in this hand. He surprisingly checks, though, which is really interesting. Really assumed he had a hand like queens plus, so with that said, I'm not sure what's going on, but we want to just put in a semi-bluff, maybe build a pot. Not sure what this bet is for, but I throw out $70. We can improve to our flush draw. We can get value from ace-king high, I guess, but with this $70 bet, he snap calls. The river comes the 10 of clubs. He checks once again, and it's going to be pretty hard for him to fold anything once he snap calls the turn bet. So I check with some showdown, and he just instantly mucks his hand. I'm very confused. I'm not sure what's going on, but at least we're taking this one down.
All right, boys, we're out of the session. We played for a while. We played for 5 hours. It seemed, to be honest, it felt like more. So we were moved. We started in the must move game, and then when we got moved in the main game, things kind of fell off the tracks. Not a lot was going on. There was pretty good action in that must move game, but then negative action in the mains. So I think next time I come here, I'll probably try to come a little bit later and stay at the must as long as possible because the main was negative action. But anyways, we booked a pretty good win overall though for 5 hours. We were in for 1,000, out for 2190 in 5 hours. Pretty good there. All the hands that you saw are pretty much all the hands that we kind of played. We were also card dead, which doesn't help for the action's sake, but the rest of the table, not a lot going on either. But I probably just still that aces hand is kind of haunting me a little bit. I feel like I could have made more there, but that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Peace.